Thanks everyone for coming today along to our session, Thinking Big. We are very, very excited. We've got some pretty cool stuff we want to show you. So my name's Kuzi. I'm the General Manager of Marketing and Corporate Strategy at Aussie Broadband. We are very excited to be launching our game-changing partner portal today. It's called Carbon. We've been working really closely with both NBN and Cisco to help deliver what we're calling our Elastic Interconnect platform. We think it's very cool. We're very excited to show it to you. Unfortunately, can't do it face-to-face as we otherwise would have, but given the circumstances, the webinar doesn't work too badly. Ultimately, the problem that we set out to address when we kind of came up with this concept, which was been probably, 6 months in the works, but we came up with the idea probably 12 months ago, was a real frustration with the way that business services were delivered. Business services were very hard. It's always, very hard to get in touch with account managers, and you got to get quotes, and no one's got transparent pricing, and it takes a really long time, months and months to get a service order, to get it provisioned, and then every time you need to test a service or get it configured or those kind of things, you've obviously got to go back to a team who've got to come back to you. It doesn't just happen in real time. It's not easy. It's not simple. And so we really wanted to address that issue, not only in a way that's going to save you time and obviously save you money, but also to provide a better experience, for our MSP partners, to provide a better experience for our customers as well, and for the customers of our customers. So we are very excited to launch the portal for you today. We're going to walk through a live demo, and so I'm going to introduce Philip Brett, who's the Managing Director of Aussie Broadband, to walk us through the portal demonstration.
Thanks very much, Kuzi. I'd just like to echo Kuzi's very warm welcome. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. We know taking an hour out of your day is always difficult, and we really appreciate you spending time with us. So Carbon, as Kuzi mentioned, is our new Elastic Interconnect platform. And ultimately, this is stage one of what is going to be a very interesting journey, I think, for all of us. So we'll get underway and log into the portal here. And ultimately, what we're launching today is the business NBN side of things, and also Cisco Meraki. So they're the two things that are available today in the portal. But there's a whole range of other things that we're going to incorporate in the portal over time, but they're already available today through the account management team. So they include things like data center connectivity. So that's bandwidth between data centers. So it has a port concept that allows you to spin up bandwidth dynamically between data centers. So for MSPs and businesses that want to dynamically provision and build their own sort of core network, that gives that capability. It's got a cloud connectivity platform as well, which allows you to connect to things like AWS, Azure, and Google. We'll be integrating our mobile services as well into it, so that you can offer those to your end customers for both mobile access and 4G backup. And 4G's backup's actually in there today. Hosted phones, SIP trunks, and those sorts of things. VPN connections and firewalls. So as I mentioned, all those things are available through the account team today. What we're launching today is the business NBN and Meraki through the portal, and we'll iteratively release the rest of those as we go. To kick us off, we have the concept of a project, and a project could be a group of connections that relate to a particular client that you're working with, or they might be a particular set of offices that you're grouping if you're a business client. So we've got a couple of predefined projects here, and these are designed to be flexible so they suit however your business operates. So we're going to use Baxter & Co head offices as our project today. We have a live SQ here that directly integrates with NBN's B2B systems, and so this brings the data back straight away. We're going to be picking the Aussie Broadband offices in Mall for the point of this. Now, we're connected to all 121 NBN points of interconnect, and that comes back to our highly available Cisco Core. So we can provide this particular platform is available for any fixed line service that NBN offers in Australia. So our SQ has come back now. It shows that our location in Mall is on fibre to the premises technology. We did an upgrade in our area to get NBN fibre in, and it gives us a rundown of the different services that are available. So We've got the best effort style services, which are based on TC4 NBN connectivity, and that allows speeds right up to your 1,400 business speeds with us. And then you've got your symmetrical speed accesses as well. So we've got both high and low COS enterprise Ethernet available in this, as well as the TC2 based NBN services as well. So for the purpose of our demo today, we're going to spin up a live TC2 service at 20 megabits. So we'll change the slider down to that. Now, in terms of the support packages, we offer a range of different support packages, and these are based on the NBN ESLAs, so they improve the response time that NBN gives. But they're also backed by Aussie Broadband service availability guarantee. And so this gives you a guarantee that's got rebates backed against it should the guarantee not be met. So we're going to select the gold ESLA for today. Now, as we move through into the next option, we've got the option for routers. And so part of what we're launching today is the Cisco Meraki range as well. And whilst we know that Meraki is available to MSPs directly, I guess the uniqueness in the offering here is that we're enabling it on a monthly purchase basis so that you don't have the capital cost available. And if you don't want to take a router, you don't have to. It's not a mandatory option sort of thing. We've also got the option here to turn on or turn off 4G failover. So this provides an alternate path should the landline service go down. And then we have other options as well that people can pick. Again, these are optional, but Meraki through us gives you that month-by-month kind of option. As we continue to move through, we've got our site installation options. And so we offer a professional on-site install. Well, this could be an area that MSPs may want to value add themselves. So they might want to, and this is where we see the real value in the MSP relationship is having that partnership. You've got the relationship with the client already. And so doing that installation might be part of the value add that you do. If that's not something that you do, then we're able to offer that as well. Now, some of the flexibility in our system is basically, in this case, we've got two NBN NTDs installed at the property, and so it shows up both NTDs here. And we can see all of the ports that are either in use or available, and it allows you to pick the port that the service is going to be provisioned on. And so we're going to pick port 4 here to go through and continue on. Now, with the service, you have to put in the business details of the actual end user that the service is being provisioned on. And this part of this is to do with NBN being able to install the service. And so it can't be the details of the particular MSP. So this is the end user details that we're entering in here. Now, over on the right-hand side, we've also got our cart that's been building up. And so it shows our service that we've built. It also shows the monthly fee for the hardware involved and gives a full summary of what's going on. You're able to select things like what operating hours the business is, any special site conditions that NBN may need to adhere to. So this is the full-blown sort of business experience that NBN offers. And then when we click order, we move through from there. Now, the order's not complete at this point. It basically pops into, we've got our Baxter & Co. Project here, and we've got one service that's awaiting checkout. And so we start to move through the checkout process. And this gives a summary of what the service is, what the costs are, in this case, because it's a managed service provider, the discounts that are applicable. And basically, you agree to the terms and conditions, and then from there, click checkout. And that's as simple as it is to get that service underway. Once we move into actually looking at a service, you can then have a look at where it's up to in terms of the provisioning. So you've got all the different steps down the right-hand side that it will go through in terms of the provisioning. But it also, in this case, because we've selected hardware, it allows you to look at the hardware configuration. And you can either do an auto config option where it uses default type options, or it allows you to put in things like the LAN ranges, DNS servers, reserved IPs for printers and cameras and all those sorts of things, any port forwarding. And from there, you can basically save the config. So for the purposes of today, we're just going to do an auto config, and that will flow through as part of the device. From there, we can basically jump to our services, and if you have a look down the right-hand side there, you'll see a few tags, and we'll come back to tags shortly. So in our case, we've got Cafe 365 and Five Islands Council and that sort of thing. When we jump into a particular service, we get a flyout from the right-hand side here. And this allows us to look at what the particular service is, the speed. You're able to change the speed of the service on the fly dynamically, and that will update within a few minutes. And then it gives you some other details. So by default, connections spin up as a standard internet connection. And so you'll see the IP there. Now, tags are a part of the service that we offer, and we also allow you to rename the actual services that appear. So in this case, we're putting in some tags. So Vic, it's a Victorian connection. It might be a particular POI. It might be a function that it's used for. So in this case, like a Citrix type service. And so these can be anything that you want, and they allow you to search on that moving forward. Now, up the top, you've got the actual name of the service. Now, we put in quite a detailed description with the address and the AVC, but you might like to change it to a simple name that's easier to use. So like Primary Link Mall here as an example. And so all of that updates through the system and changes the searching. So if you've got hundreds or thousands of connections in this system, the combination of tags and common names allows you to put things in from there. So if we search for our link here, then yeah, at the moment it's capital based, and so that's one thing we're going to change. So it's got to be uppercase. It's case sensitive at the moment, so that's on the change list there. So if we go into the service, it allows you to bring up the statistics of the service, so the data used and that sort of thing. And it allows you to go into the configure service as well. And this is really where a lot of the secret sauce is in this particular system. So as I mentioned, by default, it spins up as an internet service. And then you're able to change it to any other service type that you want on the fly. So layer 2 connectivity is something that we get asked about a lot. And so this allows you to bring the standard NBN service and drop it onto a head end that might be at one of the key data centers like Equinix or NextDC. And again, this change is made within minutes. It's all dynamic through the network. You can also then use the SD-WAN type service types, which are based on the Cisco Meraki technologies, or you can use our own carrier MPLS network. And so normally things like MPLS would take weeks to provision, sometimes months with certain carriers. This again can be configured quite dynamically. And so it's putting the power of the service types in your hands depending on what type of network you want to operate for your client, whether it be straight internet with your own SD-WAN solution, layer 2 back into your own solutions, our SD-WAN solution partnered with Meraki or MPLS. It's all there and you can change it by a click of a button. This is probably the most unique feature as part of this platform. We've also got the service tests component as well. And so what this allows you to do is go in and do things like just simple check connection, shows you whether the service is online or not. In this case, it's not. It also allows you to run things like UniD status, and this is particularly useful with fiber to the premises type services, in that you can see whether the Ethernet port's up, you can check whether the MAC address is there, and all those sorts of things. We've also got the support side of things, and so ultimately there's going to be times when people need support, so this allows you to open tickets or look at existing tickets that are there, and it's presented in quite a chat style type interface which runs through. We've also got the outages thing for both scheduled and unscheduled outages, so that you can see whether this service is affected by those. And all of that's in a really simple to follow page. And there's also a live chat function as well down the bottom, which allows you to communicate directly with our support teams and undertake live chat real time with our people. Now, the portal is one element, and it's just one element in what is a platform of services. So there's also, we're pleased to announce that there'll be a companion app which will also be released shortly that goes with this. So it'll put all of the portal in your actual hands. So we've got a lot of elements to this that we're still building in and it's continuing on with, but all of the core functionality for NBN and Meraki is available today. And so that's sort of a glimpse of what we've put in there, and there's more detail that will get sent to you in the pack afterwards, showing all the details about how this works and the key features.